I think that we have a sensor for when we're being told what people think we want us to hear versus what somebody really believes, even if we disagree with them. And, this probably gets to our origins as an old world primate species, but we tend to put leaders into office who can communicate either through their words or through the, timbre of their voice or through their gestures or a combination of things. Maybe it's redundancy and how often they hammer on a message, what they really believe, as opposed to flip-flopping according to what the polls say or
blowing with the wind.
Right. So I think we hear the words dominance language and we default to, it's about one person kind of, dominating the other person. Now, ultimately, it's a competition between mostly two people. Or we have a third party in this country, but it seems to be boiling down to two at this moment. And so this thing about dominance language is often couched as dominance over the other in a given scenario, over a given topic, in separate venues, one gathering versus another. But what I consider brilliant political science professor was explaining is that the dominance is really exerted and impacts voting at the level of one or the other candidate, perhaps both, expressing what they really believe about something in clear terms.
With conviction. And it being true. I think this is the sort of thing that they can't fake ultimately. And that where people lose faith in a candidate is when that candidate says, well, at one point, I said this, but now I'm saying this, and they don't give a reason that feels legitimate to their actual beliefs, or they don't address it, right? Or they don't address it, or they simply focus on the beliefs of the other candidate. So my strategy in this current election is to put, as I do for many, not all things in life, much to the dismay of people in my life, a neuroscience lens, a psychology lens, a science-based lens on what's happening around me. And I'm listening for, does that sound true in the sense, does it really sound like that candidate really believes that? Or does it sound like they're trying to tell me this? Or are they spending more time talking about what the other candidate believes or doesn't believe in an effort to sway me? Because ultimately, yes, there does seem to be some, and this guest pointed it out as well, that there is a tendency to orient towards people that we recognize, that feel similar to people we grew up around, but that's not actually the thing that impacts voting in the end. That ultimately the people who are undecided, because there is always going to be a group of people who are voting against the other party, period.